Maybe.
Hi, I'm 𝒯𝒪🟜💴, and today is my first Wellness Wednesday. I'm calling it Good as Gold interview with Nat.
Hello.
Hi.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Again.
Yeah. Yeah, we did this before, and then I accidentally deleted it, so we thought, let's just go live.
Let's go live. Let's do it.
Go live.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you doing today?
I'm good. I mean, they're good days. Yesterday was a rough day. I had a little bit of a head thing. So to me, that's almost like my body telling me you have to slow down.
Right.
So I slowed down yesterday morning, did all the things to make myself a little self-care.
Amazing. What's your self-care look like?
Well, this was really about treating the bobo I had in my neck. So it was about slowing down, but it's the hot water bottle, which is a comfort thing for me.
I can still do massage too, remember?
Yes, we need to massage. And then I did use the heat and did a little bit of heat rub. My husband just rubbed out a little bit, and then I did take a little medication to kind of soothe everything. So
I had magnesium too.
But quiet time, lying down, resting.
Yeah.
Good for the soul.
Because it's busy because your daughter's finishing school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last busy few days.
And that's like one of the 4 areas I wanted to focus on. You being a mom, you being a wife, and as well as where you're of service.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about the relocation.
Yep.
How do we call it? Relocation Concierge.
That's right.
Yes, which is a real thing.
It is.
It's really a real thing. And then also just you being an expat.
Yeah.
Living here in Dominican Republic, which you came, like we said before, a lot of other people.
I did, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So have you seen a lot of shifts in just you kind of stabilizing, but then also just people getting more acclimated faster who are coming? Because you deal with a lot of people that are coming.
Yeah, so I think that one of the things I learned from us arriving was, we didn't have anybody to guide us. I mean, we had a few people.
Right.
And I had one sort of go-to person. She's become like that person. Like if I don't know, I will reach out to her and
how
she
did
will
you
have
meet her?
She's a real estate agent.
Okay, cool.
She's actually the one and only real estate agent that got back to us when we contacted people about coming down here. So she's like very dear to my heart and I love her a lot. So I think the shift has been that there's just been like in the fall, there was an influx, right? And I don't know that I saw it coming, and it really had to do with the politics back home that we did not experience, right? In the spring when we decided to come, it was really about adventure and exploration and doing things and showing our daughter a different life, opportunity. So the shift for me was I really had to find I'm empathetic, but it was very hard to understand the mindset people were coming with when they arrived, because when we left, things were just being recommended. They weren't being mandated.
Right.
It's a much different, that word mandate is so much heavier.
Right.
And it created a lot of fear in people, and people felt like they had to leave.
Right.
And that was something I had a hard time identifying with because
you didn't leave with any have to.
No.
Right.
No, it really was out of our choice.
Right.
Like we chose to do this.
Right.
But we are also living in consequence that we also we're not stuck here, but we cannot travel freely. So that's our new reality.
Or at least not back to Canada.
Well, we can travel to Canada, but we can't travel out of Canada.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can travel to some other countries that are allowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Okay, so was that, hey, Kat? So was that part of kind of your creativity and flow? Because I feel like with the way that you're of service, and then I don't know, just like the bit that I know you, like I feel like you're kind of this creative, flowing person, which is part of why I wanted to interview you as a mom and as a wife. Like you just seem to have that creative thing about you.
I definitely have a creative side, and that's where my speaking coaching comes in. That's where I use my intuition. That's where I connect with people easily and understand, and sometimes probably not in a good way, because then I take on people's energies. So I have to be mindful of that. But it is doing something like this, I think, is more aligned with somebody that is of that open sort of spirit. Right. Not everybody is meant to relocate.
Right.
And when we decided to do this, I didn't even think my husband was going to be on board because he doesn't like change.
Right.
You have to like change. You have to want to embrace change. Right. And it's not obvious for everybody to do that. So And I continue to be able to explore creativity here with, just going to the beach. I mean, you sit down and the palette in the sky is beautiful every night, and it's never the same. And I feel like I can take a sunset picture every night and I will never have the same one.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's super amazing.
Yeah.
There's something that you said there and I forget what it was that, I don't know.
It'll come back. It'll come back.
But were you always sort of creative like that? Or was there certain things that kind of inspired you? Or as a kid, like you had family that sort of nurtured that? Or was there like mindset stuff that at some point you were like, hey, I'm going to go for this kind of creative, because it's just me and I'm going to, not everybody lives their authentic life. Like not everybody, you know what I mean? Like nobody shows up as themselves, but I really feel like you show up as yourself. And so I love that about you.
I think I worked with kids for many years, young kids. And when you work with kids,
they're so open.
Yeah, they're so open, and you can be open because they don't judge you.
Right.
I mean, up until a certain age, right?
And then they kind of learn to be certain, like, we don't fit
there's
into
a shift.
Yeah.
But the young ones really will let you sing and dance and do all the crazy, silly stuff, and they just go along with you.
Right.
And I've always sort of carried that, and I've traveled before. And when I chose to travel in my like mid-20s, it was really, it resembled this change where I got a job, I packed my things, and 2 weeks later I was working on a cruise ship.
Right.
And my friends were like, you're doing what? Going where? How do you do that? And I was allowed, or I was given permission subconsciously to just be myself.
Right. I do feel like that with traveling for sure.
Yeah. And I guess you can be somebody that, that persona that you can't be when you're home.
Or that everybody knows you, so you feel limited sometimes.
You're limited, right? Yeah. But when you travel and you're meeting new people, you sort of can test out what like, this is who I really want to be. Right. Can I do that here?
Right.
And I think with age grows, you get wiser and you sort of decide, well, this is who I am.
Right.
And this is who I'm going to be.
Right.
And
I'm more clear with boundaries maybe of like what you'll accept and what you won't.
Yeah. And I think part of when I arrived here, I've always been a speaking coach. I've been doing training and speaking coaching for almost 10 years now. And I created a program for teens. And I believe wholeheartedly that program is successful because of all of my past experiences, because I can connect with kids on a certain level, but also bringing the educational part to get them to listen.
Right. Which is the part where you're being of service. You get to put your creativity together.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that program has allowed me to, it's not a wash, rinse, repeat program. It's a wash, let's add to it, and then let's repeat some of it and then add to it. Right. So there is a lot of room for growth, and it has grown over the years since 2016.
Right.
So I'm very grateful for that. And that's where
it's sort of holistic too. Yeah. Like with our own two hands with some of what I'm doing, like the motto is holistic, sustainable, abundant intentions and actions. Mm-hmm. So the holistic part for you is really being of service and offering really to these children or like, young adults, I guess, how to kind of connect like mind, body, soul, or mind, body, energy, and just to like,
and give them the confidence and give them the tools so that as they move forward, they can better express themselves. I had a conversation with somebody this week and I said, how many times are we asked, talk about yourself, and nobody teaches you how to do that.
Right.
And then everybody's sort of like, I don't know what to say.
Right.
Because nobody teaches you how to, I say, strategically boast about yourself. Not in a big egocentric way, but in a way to say, I'm good at this. Mm-hmm. I know I'm a great teacher. I know I'm a good trainer. And I'm not saying it out of ego. I'm saying it out of, I know.
Right. Well, and when you know yourself, you can be more confident and you can really be more clear about what you accept and not accept. And for sure, especially in sort of mainstream school, people learn math and science and all these things, but they don't always learn like just the psychology or just the like how to connect with yourself and boundaries and
with professionals, I play this. It's not a game, but I try and I introduce them to a concept of who are they as speakers, right? Who are they on, it's called the disc profile. So who are they in this profile?
Right.
And then when you have an audience, if you're able to identify who's in the audience, then
they call it an avatar.
Yeah. So if you are able to, identify the avatars, then you can speak to them on a very deeper level, because when you speak to them, right? So that's a skill that you don't learn as a teenager. You don't learn it as a young adult. It's just not something that we're necessarily teaching.
Right.
I've been fortunate to have very good mentors who have guided me along the way. And there's things that you keep and there's things you throw away.
Right.
And now I'm able to use all this to just, make programs more interesting. And I use it in my new business, because
that's what I was going to say.
Everybody is different. So you have to know, these clients are this way and they are this way. And this is the way they think,
As the Relocation Concierge, which also brought you to your YouTube channel.
Yes.
The YouTube channel is just focused on
the relocation. Yeah.
So what inspires you to do the interviews, or have you ever said no to a client before, or you take on everybody that you
no, I haven't said no to anybody. This week I'm going to be interviewing somebody that moved to, if I'm not mistaken, she's in Cabo. So she's not even in the DR. She's in Mexico.
Oh, cool.
And they decided to relocate. They're Canadian. I connected with them through somebody I met in networking back in Montreal. And she's super excited to share her story, So it's not about the DR. Obviously, I'm in the DR, but relocation.
Oh, there goes the dogs.
It's the full effect. It's the full. We're getting the full. We're getting the full DR experience. So all this to say that knowing who you are really helps moving forward with who you will work with.
Right. So is it when you meet people or something in them that you see in yourself that kind of inspires you to interview them?
People have shared their stories, and there's something. It's a story that there's something that clicks for me, and everybody's story is very unique.
Right.
So whether you decide to relocate for political reasons, for social, economic reasons, for family reasons, no one has the same story.
Right. Which that's sort of the holistic part, because the holistic's very individual.
Yes.
Who are you individually, and what do you need, and why are you here?
Exactly. And that's why for me, my service is very unique and tailored to who I work with, because what you need is not what the next person needs, because they're everything is defined differently.
Right. Yeah. So the last few questions. So in regards to mindset, because I have heard you talk a little bit about that in your interviews and stuff. Was that something you just kind of felt like, okay, I got to read these books, or I got to figure this out, or do this coaching? Or was it something that just, you said you had some great mentors as well?
So, I've read a lot of books.
Yeah. I like reading too.
I watch a lot of, I like inspirational things. I like, there's certain talk show hosts or speakers that I just enjoy listening to.
Okay.
And I think that when it comes to mindset, it's such a loaded word.
Yeah, it is.
It means something different to everybody.
Right.
When it comes to, mindset in speaking, it's like most people are like, I can't do this.
Right.
I can't talk on camera. I can't be interviewed. Well, of course you can, because you keep saying that you can.
Right. Exactly.
It's a very simple and a very plain example.
Right.
When it comes to relocation, I like to sort of be really open and raw and real with clients and say, you're going to cry.
Yeah.
You're going to get mad.
Right.
You might not like your husband and wife one day. You might, regret. Yeah. And those are very negative things, but they are very real things.
Right.
So for every negative, you'll have 5 positives.
Right.
In our first 3 weeks here, I had a massive ear infection. My whole face swelled up. Luckily, I met a wonderful Dominican girl, and she's a very good friend now. And her uncle's a doctor, and she messaged him. So the medical system here is very different.
Right.
And it was like a text thing, and sent pictures, and he prescribed a whole regimen of things.
Yeah.
And they delivered to our house. But my husband was like, do you want to go home now? Like, you ready to leave? And I'm like, no, I don't want to leave. I just want to feel better.
Yeah. It's a little test. Like,
it's a
are
test.
you going to stay?
Are you going to stay?
Yeah.
Will I stay or will I go, sort of thing. But the mindset of doing this, it's a shift. You
Right.
have to be ready
Yeah.
for all the unknowns. I have a client who said to me, I said, there's going to be some unknowns. She goes, I'm not ready for the unknowns, Natalie. I just want the knowns. I don't want any unknowns. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
It's
like a religion kind
Yeah.
of like, this is what you do. And,
Yeah. So there's no, the puzzle pieces are very sort of mismatched and you got to put them together. It's just knowing that somebody has your back.
Right.
Now, if it's not me, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's another family, maybe it's your favorite speaker, maybe there's somebody that you have to turn to be able to say, I got this.
Right.
And you know as well as I do, I mean, there are a lot of bumps along the way. We are in a foreign country, foreign language, foreign money,
right.
A lot of unknowns. So
right.
you have to take it one day at a time.
Right. And I mean, for me, I love to travel anyways. So, but I do feel like either way, the world's shifted. So even back home isn't the home that we once knew.
No.
So that's where, I feel like mindset really is kind of just being aware of, how you're thinking or how you're feeling. So then you, with the awareness, can choose.
Yes.
Okay, what am I going to choose to think? Is this actually helping me or is this hindering me? Right. That's for me what
100%. Yeah, I know. And I know, like, for me this week, I've had like sadness in my heart and I recognize it. I miss people. I miss my family. I miss my girlfriends back home.
Right.
And I'm not afraid to say it. You know, I spoke to a friend today and I got a little bit misty eyed. I'm like, I just miss you guys. That's all it is. It's, I miss you. It's a moment. Feel the moment, let go of the moment, and then, move on to a great interview, So it's,
and hopefully things will shift in our country and we'll be able to go back easier without so many obstacles. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so lastly, as a mom and as a wife,
yes,
how has that affected your expat life and your service life? Like, how do you kind of balance it all in today's day and age with everything? Like, what is at the core of that keeps you kind of...
I think one of the things we said that when we decided to do this was that not a lot was going to change in our family life, meaning we still sit down to dinner every night together.
Yeah, which is very European in a way, or maybe it's Quebecois, I don't know.
Yeah. Like that was something that was really, my husband used to work really long hours, like 2-3 nights a week. So we didn't always get to sit down, all three of us together. So we do pretty much every night have dinner together. That was a must. Our daughter goes to school. We have a work day, like but it's just that it's not a 9 to 5. It's maybe a 10 to 3 or a 10 to 2, depending on the day. Our daughter.
That's the best thing about living here is our lifestyle is not so go, go, go.
It's not.
You still go.
We're still going.
Yeah.
But the beat is a little bit. The pace is a little different.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like you gotta.
The weather really, indicates a lot or guides us in So evenings for me, like going down to the beach after dinner is a must. Like putting my feet in the sand. So putting my feet in the sand, sitting down and just sitting and closing my eyes, and my daughter's running around in and out of the water. It's a beautiful experience no matter what day of the week.
Right. And that's the abundance, the sustainability, and the holistic.
Absolutely, 100%. And whatever you choose to do when you come down here, there's no right or wrong. And somebody taught me that here. There's no right or wrong.
Right.
There's just different.
Right.
We all choose what works best for us. So when clients say, oh, where should I live and what should I do? I present them with the options.
Yeah.
And I say, this is what I like. This is what I like. This is what maybe won't work as well for you. But ultimately, you have to do what works for your family.
Right. Which is part of the 20 minutes that you do with them. It's just to kind of feel them out. Right. And
so they can book a discovery call to find out, where they are in the process. What does it look like? And, are we a good fit?
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll put your links below on my thing.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for taking the time again.
Yes, it was my pleasure.
This time we went live. And thanks for everybody that stopped by. #replay if you're watching on the replay. And have a beautiful Wellness Wednesday. Bye.